And we got to look at the root of the problem. We got to look at the root of the problem. And we got to talk about the fact that you have a lot of single parent households for the last, 20, 30 years, almost 40 years of single parent led households. And you have a lot of males and females growing up with just a mother, no biological father in the household, but the mother has a plethora of boyfriends. They grew up in a household where there is no male leadership or protection. The young boys have to grow up fast. The girls have to grow up fast. But usually the girls have to grow up faster because they're young women. And the boys get coddled to where they're in their 30s still living with their mother. So I want people to understand that we have our own issues. We have our own issues that we have to deal with. But I do think that there's a root problem. And that root problem has to be taken care of before we go out here playing the blame game. I'm all about the logic game. I'm all about bringing logic to the conversation, not emotion. Some people going to bring emotion because that's all they have. But I'm speaking on the real issues that are going on. And the fact remains that you have these women who are grown up without male leadership. They don't know what that is. That's why their relationships fail. They only respect the men that they work for, who most likely are Caucasian men. They have no respect for black men because they didn't grow up in a household with a black man. So they don't see the importance of a melanated man who works, who is a provider and a protector. To them, protection is one phone call away, 911, or it's relatives. What I used to hear a lot. I've never really heard melanated women say, I need a community full of our men to protect us. Because if you look on social media, these women will tell you in a second that they're not your women, Trae. They're not your women. Go listen to what they say. They don't want us claiming them. So when I see stuff like this, to me, it's a one-way street. You know, they want protection from us, but they don't want cooperation. Or they don't want to have cooperation with us. Then they don't want to cooperate with us. They want us to play their game. And a lot of men nowadays, especially these Gen Zers and these millennial males, they're not playing games anymore. They're not. They're not going to sit there and allow you to waste their time, play games with them, shame them. They're going to be real with you. And a lot of them just don't know how to deal with that. So they're moving the goalposts more and more.
Simp level 9000.
Appreciate that, Brian Washington. Yeah, make sure y'all like the stream once again. This whole thing about protection, man, it just shows you that we still have people that want to play the blame game, and they want to, as I said, move the goalposts. They don't really want to have real, honest conversations. They don't. I'm willing to have these conversations. I'm willing to say that, you know what, these young girls don't know what a real man is as far as leading and protecting and making the tough decisions and being able to be a role model for the children. They don't know what that is. They only see that in the movies. That's why you got so many of these feminist-minded women on social media, even in real life, who they got everything, right? They got themselves together. They still look good. You know, they may have a child or two, but they don't have anybody stable. And that's never going to change. Because if you don't change your mentality, then your situation is never going to change. You have to change your situation. You have to want it to change. But the problem is that a lot of these women want to point the finger and not look in the mirror. How can you say you want protection? You're the main one calling the police on black men. So you want protection from the same men that whenever you get upset, you threatening to call the police. Threatening to call the race soldiers. Because trust me, y'all can talk about Karen all you want to. Ain't nobody calling the police more than melanated women. These are facts. Ask any dispatcher who's calling the police more, and they're going to tell you who. Y'all can try to glamour. You can try to make it seem like it's a lot of Caucasian women just calling the police. No, it ain't. Come on, man. Stop. Come on, man. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but come on, man. You want protection from the same men that when you don't even seek the right type of men to be in relationships with, to have children with. I've heard some horror stories about women getting into relationships with men, and some of these stories are just mind-boggling, man. You literally have women out here who will date a guy. She thinks he's going away to jail for a long time, and she already has one kid with the guy, but she offers to have another kid with the guy before he goes. And guess what? He ends up getting out. He ends up not spending no time in jail. And he ends up leaving you and moving to a whole nother state. Now you a single mother. You bitter because you realize he ain't want you like that. All right? And now your whole dating life is screwed up. You don't know if you still love the guy. You don't know how to move forward into new relationships because you're dysfunctional. You made your own dysfunction because you don't know what a man is. You think you know because of how a guy acts or how a guy dresses or how many women. Do you know women measure whether a guy is a real man or not by how many women he gets? They don't look at his financial situation. They don't look at the fact that he's a guy who has a work ethic and has built something of his own. They only look at the fact of whether he can get women or not. That's how they gauge what a real man is. And that's why they end up getting with men who really don't want to be with them, but they use them and then they toss them to the side and they move on to the next woman. Because you're looking at manhood in a way that you shouldn't. Some of you males even gauge manhood that way. Y'all gauge manhood as to how many women a dude gets or sleeps with, which is weird. Why would you care how many women a guy is getting with? You know? But I think that it just shows you where we are culture-wise. I think that a lot of these guys that think they want to protect these women, they want to go out here and say, we're going to protect them. Bro, I want you to actually go into these neighborhoods or even to these women who are in corporate America, who are in universities. Ask them, are they your women? And ask them, do they need you to protect them? Bro, they will laugh in your face. Those women will laugh in your face. They don't want nor need you to protect them. I'm sorry to tell you this. I know it's harsh for a lot of you, some of you males, especially you pro-black, pro-wax. But you go to any college campus, you go to any business corporate setting, you go to any of these black neighborhoods, ask these women. Ask them. You will be surprised. No, you will be surprised. I won't. You would be surprised, maybe even shocked, that a lot of them not necessarily looking for you to lead them. And they will laugh at you. And you will deserve it because you should have known better. You should actually study what's going on socially. A lot of these people, socially, they're in the wrong place. And that's how they end up getting manipulated and played, because they don't handle themselves right socially. Socially, they're awkward. They don't know really how to really respond and speak to people. They look at trends on social media and then they go from there. Just as delusional as these same women who can't keep a man. Got everything together, right? The only time they want protection is when one of these melanated women lives have been lost by one of these police officers. And I noticed that in the song, he didn't bring up Michaela Bryant. I don't know when he recorded this. It might have been before the Michaela Bryant situation. But we all know about that situation. We all know that it's not what the media, the lamestream media, and even some of these people on social media, a lot of them are saying. we know that situation may have been more justified because a life was saved, a life was spared. I know some people don't want to hear that, but that's what you call protecting. Protecting a life, right? Not rhetoric on social media just to point the finger. A lot of you don't understand this. That's why your life sucks. That's why you can't keep nobody. That's why you get no respect, you know?